Alright. What's up, everybody? We've got the grand finals of the Korean Weekly Cup, and of course, none other than hero in the top right side of the map. Playing on his barcode account, which he's named the Hero Clan, so people still know it's him. Kind of ugly on the overlay, but it is what it is. His opponent down here, of course, Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark. And Dark's going to be moving out, forced to take the third base on map 1. It is Royal Blood, and of course, this was just before the patch dropped, but for several weeks now, the Weekly Cups have been played on the patch mod anyway, so it's effectively the exact same map pool and patch changes. The only difference is that this has actually not got a couple of the mistakes that went through with the patch. So if you guys heard about a few of the mistakes in the patch going through, like Magfield being a little bit wrong and stuff, that is, not going to be an issue. Obviously, because this is a Zerg versus Protoss as well. What's exciting here, though, guys, is Dark is dynamic. He's aggressive. He's a YOLO Lord. He's very good at playing Hydras. He's one of the few players willing to play Ultras versus Protoss as well and utilize some of those Zerg buffs that have been much talk about. But on the other hand, Protoss have a few buffs. Their upgrades are faster, and Hero is already one of the best double upgrade players in the game. A lot of people have been overlooking this change. Not only that, Archons are so much better. So if you play an Archon Zealot style, Archons can move in and out of your wall. It used to be sometimes your Archons would get stuck inside your base or outside of your base, or if they'd swap to Mutas, you couldn't really defend because your Archons would get stuck. They couldn't move between the minerals, whereas now they can. Definitely something where both Archon Harass and Archon Defense is just going to be way better because they're actually able to move around. Essentially, they put them on that Jenny Craig diet, that Weight Watchers, and they're no longer getting stuck needing mobility ramps and access wide doors and all that sort of stuff anymore. Other than that, I think Hero is also so aggressively dynamic and good at controlling the map that the fact that on these bases, the third and fourth bases being spread out a little bit more in general doesn't hurt him quite as hard as it hurts some of the other players. So I really am curious to see if anyone can stand up to Hero's PvZ, because this is a patch where I actually have a theory, guys, and that is because I've been talking to the community a lot of people on Reddit and elsewhere angry that it seems like the patch is more Zerg favored, and I've been saying, look, I do think people are blowing the changes out of proportion a little bit, and kind of, don't get me wrong, Serral, Dark, Reyna are very dominant overall in StarCraft 2 in terms of results, and it's easy to look at those championships they win and get upset. The thing I think a lot of people don't realize is that Hero is going to win Katowice, and I just think you put this guy on a new map pool, and like all the things that supposedly disadvantage Protoss, I think he's so much better than every other Protoss in the world at adapting and just flowing with the craziness that I actually think you just put him in a new environment and it always helps Hero and hurts everybody else in the game. That's my theory right now. I think the balance changes are overall meaningless compared to the fact that you're just changing things, making it relatively new, and you take away everyone's thousands of hours of practiced experience and muscle memory. And the guy who F2s like a madman and has one of the craziest control group systems in the world just happens to excel in that environment. Now, Dark will spot these adepts. He needs some more Zerglings right now. He really needs some more Lings to stop those two adepts because the Oracle's going to join up with it. Notice the adepts are trying to lure the queens to the right. This is Hero's bait. Oh, he's actually just going to dive. He's going to dive. The adepts meaning to tank, allowing the Oracle to go in. Oracle only gets one drone, but the adepts finishing off 5. Make it 6. 6 drones for 2 adepts. Oracle doesn't get 2 damage. Really nice sync up there. That was a beautiful, beautiful piece of patience. Something I've got to try that one out more. Just collecting those units and waiting for it can be so effective now. Lings are going to come in towards that third base. One Oracle will have to turn on its laser beam. Should click on the shield battery if he really wants to try and get some damage, but Hero just being so patient. I love that trigger discipline on the Oracle. That was really nicely done by him. Dark is at 37 workers versus 41. So worker advantage for Protoss, and that's something that Dark definitely needs to address very quickly here. He's droning, but it does feel a bit slow. Dark even hitting a little bit of a supply block on 58, and normally about 40 workers is where the Zerg is meant to overtake, but you can see he's still trailing. And the thing is, now there's 3 Oracles coming forward. There's only 6 Queens on the map. He might find even more damage. Oh, Hero goes for the Queen. Crazy move. He's going to lose an Oracle for that. But he does get 4 drones and a Queen for an Oracle. I think that's an admirable trade. Hero will be happy with that. Of course, Dark, though, realizing, hey, you've gone 3 Oracles, and if a Protoss goes 3 Oracles, it doesn't save a lot of money for, say, a really quick Twilight Council. Whereas if there wasn't 3 Oracles, and indeed there's even a 4th one building, Glaives could be finishing. There could be a bunch of Adepts. In that case, Dark would be massing Zerglings, making a Baneling Nest or a Roach Horn. He'd be worried about all of those things. But Knowing there's lots of oracles, he says drone, 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 drone. Just hold that drone key down, take a quick 4th base. He knows this is going to become a macro game, but there's also going to be more damage coming in and more harassment from hero that he does have to watch out for. Hero looking to dive the mineral line, but with the queen already getting some hits on that weak oracle, not going to work out. And 3rd oracle at home, 4th oracle at home. So that's the 5th oracle he's built. And this is going to be that charge zealot oracle style that hero loves. +1 zealots will 2-shot rather than 3-shot the zerglings. Great movement. Really good movement on these queens by Dark. Dark's on 62 workers. He's up 17 workers right now. Wait, why is Hero's worker count so low? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, Hero's planning a 4-gate charge lot aggression. Oh, so he cut probes to get both non-stop oracles and this many gateways up this early. But now he's way behind on workers. Hero needs to do damage with this 5 oracle zealot attack, but it's only 5 zealots. He really needs 4 more zealots to make this hit with any real impact. I feel like Hero's mistimed this. I think Dark is completely safe. He's got 5 queens, 18 lings, 7 roaches. 5 queens is the problem. The oracles could catch it and kill him. I think he's hidden the oracles pretty well. If the queens come out to the right side, which is what the zealots will do, that lures the queens into the open. The oracle's gonna find that high energy queen. They go straight for her. They blast her face off. Can he even take out a single oracle before all the queens go down? 1 oracle falls. The second one is barely gonna... No, it survives! And the zealots just back on off these oracles. Gonna have a little bit of a party now. Gonna take out a few of these roaches and lings. Dark says, let's chase the zealots down and at least lure these oracles away a little bit. Hero, though, he's catching up on work as the zealots do pretty well. And chasing this far across the map is very dangerous. I like, though, that Hero is patient on turning on his laser beam. He wants to save that energy for the future. And this forces Dark into Hydras. He doesn't want to rebuild 6, 7, 8 queens to deal with the oracles. He wants mobile anti-air, so he's going to go Hydralisks. This gives a lot of time to Hero to now transition into double Robo. He's already got the Templar Archive, so he can make Archons whenever he feels like it. If, say, Banelings came in, he'd be very urgent on that. Because it's mostly Roaches, Archons aren't that important. Instead, he's going Blink. He's probably going to be making the Robo Bay and just stalk a Disruptor. Maybe get an Immortal or 2 out, but I think with so much Oracle energy, Dark can't punish him. So the Oracles are his defensive energy, his defensive tool right now. And this Oracle does come in. 67 drones only for Dark, but look at that. He's going to drone up that 4th base. +1 range is on the way. We do have +1 attack finished here for Hero. And Hero's managed to set himself up in an okay spot, but I love this. Oh, careful, Hero. Oh, good cancel. Oh, not even a cancel, but, you know, stops the probe from building, essentially. So the Zealot Archon. Now, this is what Hero's been doing really well recently, is he's like, I'm playing Zealot Archon, haha. And then he swaps into Stalker Disruptor. And that's really good against Roach Hydra and that sort of stuff. Like, Zealot Archon gets smashed by a big enough ball of Roach Hydra because there's too many of them shooting at range. They gun you down before you get in close. Now, he hasn't seen the Hydras yet. There we go. Great scout for Hero. He knows what he needs to know. And he's going to go... Oh, Psystorm. He's not going to go for the... Okay. He's going up to 8 gateways in Psystorm. I really thought he would go Disruptors here. But Storm will get the job done. Storm Stalker's very good. And still Mass Hydra on the way. 76 workers for Dark. No sign of an Infestation Pit, which means no Lurkaden, no Hive. He's just playing a Roach Hydra max. Disruptors would be an absolute hard counter to this. But you're not really expecting someone to commit to such a build that's so easily hard counted. And yet that's exactly... And the thing is, Dark's doing it for a reason. You showed him Zealot Archon Oracle. He's assuming, well, Zealot Archon Oracle, like, you don't really have any splash damage out. If I just get a big enough ball of Roach Hydra, I can kill you. He's clearly committing 100% to the aggression, and there's no splash damage. It's just Immortal Zealot Archon plus Cannon Battery. Hero does have some good defensive setups, but I don't think he has the numbers just yet. The Oracles and the Zealots, oh man, they're going to struggle against this many Hydras. Okay, but Roach Hydra, not all together, and the upgrades aren't all there. It's only +1 on both sides. He's going to try and deal with the left flank first of all. That battery is a bit exposed though. Great positioning for Dark. It appears to be that he's got the numbers collapsing. Oh man, Hero caught out here. Psystorm finishes up, but remember he had no High Templar morphed. It was all just raw fighting units. And I think we can see why Disruptors was absolutely the right call for what Hero needed there. He kind of pushed Dark into doing a big Roach Hydra all-in. Dark had no follow-up tech, no transition, and Hero funneled him into a strategy which he wasn't prepared to deal with. Looks like he misread the play there. Probably thought Dark was teching towards Lurkers, thought he had more time, just couldn't get there. All right, I thought he was in a really good position in that last game, but we see how bad Oracle, Zealots, and Archons scale once you hit a critical mass of range units. hero in the bottom right side gets over there nice and early and does once again force Dark to take that third base. Oh, he brought down the sneaky drone. I was like, Dark, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, I like that move, guys. Hero known for being greedy and not blocking. That hatchery got down at 54 seconds, which is 6 seconds later than a 16 hatch, but he built 2 more drones, so it's not a big deal. Chase was lagging bad, Jackson. Apparently, during this game live, I didn't even realize Cranky Ducklings looks like Lloyd and Chase were casting live. Chase is the master of memes in the Australian community of StarCraft. Pretty high-level player himself as well. Different Jackson to the Jackson that some of you would know from my stream, my Twitch chat. Cybercore over here as well. Oh, get out of there. Get out of there. Okay. Probing. As always, this is hero's mainstay. This is his bread and butter, is going in the mineral line and trying to bait them into attacking him. And I've always said you'd be surprised by how often you could kill him if you just pull all these drones to attack him. But apparently, I reckon it must have happened on ladder where people try and they just can never kill the probe, and so he gets away with it. And it's just, I really feel like hero is constantly just taunting his opponents with the way he micros this probe. Obviously, he screwed up by mining the 5 minerals early, which is why he couldn't occupy the mineral patches as much. But it is what it is. He's going to delay Warp Gate. Did the Overlord find the second pylon? It didn't. So this is a very hidden second pylon. And notice he is delaying Warp Gate, which makes it look like a Stargate build. And indeed, it is a Stargate build. Probe's going to hang out. Sees a few lings coming out. Just going to dance on backwards. And no chrono on the Adept. Notice that. So hero, and this is kind of the standard way of playing these days, is like, don't chrono your Adepts for damage and pressure across the map. Just chrono for economy. However, I feel like because of this, there's this thing that happens, at least especially below the very top Zergs, where when you do chrono 2 Adepts across the map, sometimes they're just not paying attention. I've seen it happen to like even very, very high level Zergs, and the 2 Adepts kill like 4 drones and do massive damage just because it's so rare. I always feel like this is like the push and pull of Verse Zerg as a matchup. So you might be wondering, well, what's Verse Zerg? I mean, Terran versus Zerg, Zerg versus Zerg, Protoss versus Zerg. Zerg players really like to settle into like a rhythm where they can predict what's going to happen next. Because the way Zerg production works is they go, oh, you've got 2 Adepts. Okay, I'll build an extra 8 Zerglings, and then I'll go back to droning. They always want to build these units like as those units are coming across the map so that they're not hurting their drone count too much, because all that production comes from the same lava resource. So Zerg's all about trying to manage that resource correctly, get as many workers out, and then, build Spore Crawlers at the last second, or build Adepts at the last second, that sort of stuff. And I think it's really interesting to see how sometimes just doing something that hasn't been done in a while, it's fallen out of favor, is way more effective because it disrupts that rhythm where Zerg players start to take things as assumed rather than actually, confirming what's going on in the game in front of them. Now, the Phoenix will get 2 Overlord kills, so not a bad choice to open up with a Phoenix. It's a pretty cheap unit. This is just going to push back Dark's vision, and we are going to see Oracles coming across the map for some harassment behind it. Now, Dark's worker count's not great here. I think he probably hit a slight supply block earlier, but better than that last game. You can see he's ahead on workers. He's not taking any direct damage, and oh my god! So Dark has said, look, you're going Phoenix into third. There's no sharp aggression that's going to hit me off this. Dark has correctly identified that Hero is playing greedy, and he is playing greedier. Wow, that is a 4 minute and 15 second 4th hatchery, guys. Dark is going to swarm this fool. Hero needs to get some damage done soon, or it's going to be tough. Now, with the Phoenix, you can pick up a queen. So what you do is you fly the Phoenix in first, pick up a queen, disable it, tank a few shots, and then your Oracles go in and do some damage. And he's actually going to, picks up the high energy queen so he can't transfuse. And that means he can kill these other 2 queens if he wants to. But he knows other queens will come over, so he just grabs 3 drones and gets out of there. Not bad, gets a queen and 3 drones. The Phoenix is not a bad assisting unit if you're going to do stuff like that. And the Healthy Oracle goes back in and gets 1, 2, 3 more kills. Nice movement by Dark, though. He will punish that Oracle. It's going to, he should have just gone straight over that one on the Torth. Does end up keeping it alive, but not without big damage. Blink, +1's on the way. The 4 gases are up. And going up to 4 gateways is Hero. Now, Hero did some important damage there, and that should keep Dark in check, is what you'd think. And then you look at the numbers, and you realize, wait, Dark's 4th is finished. Hero does not know about that 4th being finished. This is when the 4th would normally go down as an early 4th base, and it's already done, and that's wild. The Phoenix is going to go probably scout for that, see what happens. Right now, he's just checking what's up, seeing is there roaches coming, anything like that. Picks up a queen, the Oracles grab 3 more drones, and if you got to get out of there, Dark gets some damage. Phoenix is going to fly out the left side. Sees, okay, you've taken 4 gases, so this looks like a macro build. I don't see many units coming out, just drones, overlords. And now hero finds that 4th hatchery. And let's see how he responds to it. Second forge goes down. Remember these upgrades? Upgrade quicker, guys. Total of about 30 seconds off your +3, your upgrades cumulatively. So +1 is like 8 seconds, +2 is 10 seconds, +3 is 11 seconds reduction on those upgrades, something like that. Still longer than the other races, which of course people are angry about, but it's still very impactful compared to the most recent balance patch. And that's all you can really ever compare about. If we go big picture, we're talking about buffs and nerfs from years ago, which aren't that important in the big picture. The Oracle gets 4 more drone kills. 13 drones being rebuilt. Dark wants to play Mega Macro. Is he just going to play Roach Hydra every game? This is interesting. 4th base on the way for hero, building more pylons out there. Dark, man, did he lose another Overlord? 3 Overlords to the Phoenix? He's got good creep spread, but it does feel like, just look at that units lost tab, man. 1,300 resources for nothing. I definitely think Dark's got to improve his defense, and this is why personally I prefer that 3rd in a straight line down the bottom and this to be the 4th base. It's because he was presenting an angle to dart with the oracles in on the high ground of that mineral line, and that's what he's abused multiple times to find damage. I think that really has hurt Dark in this game. That Phoenix will get out of there just barely. Behind this Burrows on the way. He's going to try and go Burrow Roaches. Oracle's coming in, grab 3 drones and get on out. Even more damage, my god. Hero's got +2 attack, +1 armor on the way. He's got 8 gateways coming up. So it's 8 gate, cannon, battery, stalker. Tunneling clause is on the way, and there's no cannon on the natural. And that's an issue. So he doesn't realize that these roaches have burrow. They could sneak into the main, the natural, and tear up his economy there. Roaches shut down the stasis trap. Very nicely done. It's just a roach max. Dark is playing a very simple style on the tech. But look at that. The oracles see the roaches starting to swarm forward and break the rocks. There's roaches breaking down the rocks on the right side as well. I like this preparation for Dark to swarm across this map. Charges coming in as well. Hero has a giant situational advantage right now. He's getting even more drone kills there with those oracles, so he's not holding any oracles back. He's confident that his stalkers, his cannons, and batteries can defend. I wouldn't mind him building a few more cannons and batteries across these bases. He's got a battery on the natural, but no cannon there, and that's why I'm worried about tunneling claws for him right now. But the revelations, as long as he has revelations on the roaches, he might notice tunneling claws kicking in. Picking off those units, it's all a distraction. Roaches on the right side getting ready to run in, but he wants to wait for tunneling claws. He's got to do it as a surprise. Has to do it as a surprise. The roach is hiding. Dark trying to be very sneaky right now. He's maxed on roaches. He can't let them get found. They're going to get found. The stalkers see it. Hero was not watching, though. Hero was not paying attention. Uh-oh. Hero, let's go to Hero's vision, guys. Hero's focused on the left side of the map. Hero has not been watching that top right. He's just F2'd to the left side of the map. He's thinking about taking a 5th. He does not know about the roaches about to come in. He's going to get warning because he does have a cannon on the 3rd, but his main and natural is going to get absolutely ransacked. Dark jumps on top of him at the front and says, hey, if I distract him at the front, that means these roaches are going to get massive damage. Roaches pop up in the natural, in the main, and in the 3rd all at once. Meanwhile, Hero may be winning a fight on the front, but Dark doesn't care. These are expendable roaches. Hero has not even run his workers away. He's getting absolutely demolished right now. He tries to recall in the main. A good revelation there. Does tag most of those roaches for the next 20 seconds, but you know what? Dark says, okay, you'll eventually clean this up. But guess what? Attacks the front at the same time. One-shotting the cannon so the battery cannot actually heal anything. And this is a goddamn disaster for Hero. He was set up in a fantastic position, but you know what? This is how Dark wins ZVP so often. It's not a good move. Game 1, not a good move. Game 2, I would argue, mass +1 Burrow Roach, not a good move. There's no transition. If this didn't get in, Dark is dead in the water. Imagine if those roaches got caught. Like, it's not solid, but it's a gamble, and in this situation, Dark has great instincts for what gambles his opponent's watching out for and what ones they're not watching out for. And that's why he makes these plays, and that's why he surprises opponents and gets them going. Now, the tail ends of this is really efficient for Hero. We've got to give him props for that. He's starting to get very efficient as he cleans up these roaches, but it's not done yet. He's down to 40 probes. He's going to have 3-2 upgrades. As long as Dark just keeps trading, I think he's pretty decent here, man. As long as he just keeps going in and picking off probes. The thing is that if Hero can max out on +3-2 Blink Stalkers, I don't know if +2 roaches or even 2-1 roaches can handle that, right? Like, it's just going to be this thing where can Dark even remax in time? Oracle tag comes in. Oh, this is really bad for Dark. That's a lot of Stalkers. They're going to jump on him. hero actually has similar army supply. Dark may have screwed up by going this far forward. He needs something that's a bit more efficient versus the Stalkers. He's trying to go Pathogen Glands, but he's not there yet. Remember, Roaches, way less range than these units. He's doing a good job of kiting down the Zealots and trying to fight a little bit at a time. But the Stalkers are going to blink forward. The Roaches, the Queens, everything coming forward. Dark might need to pull back and pull drones. He may need to pull drones in this fight. He's denying mining on that base down the bottom. The Stalker count's starting to fall. He's still up 60 supply. But I got to tell you guys, the upgrades are scary. 2-2 upgrades are there for hero. His +3 now kicks in as well. These Stalkers are elite. And now that he starts, if he can start blinking back the weak Stalkers, he's not going to be losing too many. On the other hand, Dark's production is out of control. Dark massing Roaches forward. He's got Roaches coming in from all sides from the back, and I think he's got the numbers now. The Stalkers are starting to run out of that health points, those shields. So many in the red on the backside, but there's no forward warp-in point here. Yes, he's killing some Overlords, but it's meaningless. It's not even getting him below the supply cap, and it seems like Dark with the surprise Tunneling Claw Roaches. It's that ability to take such a risky gamble in the game, and even game one, I would argue, is a big gamble. But you know what? Is it even gambling if it always works? Or is it just picking the right strategy? Like, to explain that to the viewers, you don't understand and think I'm saying Hero's playing, Dark's playing bad StarCraft. He's not. But he's playing something that on paper is a massive gamble. But it's the ability to identify when something that's on paper that's a bad choice or an inconsistent choice actually becomes consistent, actually becomes solid. That is what makes Dark so special. Now, this is the last-ditch effort for hero. The drones are pulled on the Stalkers. It's a lot of Zealots, man. That is a lot of Zealots. Oh my god, is he actually going to get through? Is hero actually going to break him? He has to pull more drones. He's got to pull more drones. The Zealots are mostly gone. I mean, surely Dark holds this. Like, look at the supply, surely, but there's just something about Hero's Blink Stalker Micro and the fact that he's so scrappy with these upgrades and everything that I was like, maybe? But, I don't know. Actually, he kills 20 drones. He's only down 15 workers. He's going to try and reprobe from it. Don't tell me this game goes on. This game should be decided one way or the other right here. And yet these players are so scrappy and it's not going to be. He sees him. That's a big shadow there, mate. That's a big shadow. You can see the shadow, guys, moving forwards, but he's building another Oracle for detection. Very important for him to be doing that. If he catches these Roaches out, that'd be huge. Hero, you gotta watch. That's kind of obvious. When you have that many Roaches together, it's not that hard to spot. Come on, tag it. Tag it, baby. He's waiting for it. Back up to almost equal workers is hero. But because of that, he's way down on army now. He's got 12 Stalkers, 6 Zealots versus 36 Roaches. Dark's just going to try and land a hammer strike on him. I like the split of units on the bottom, but these units on the top, not enough to defend. The thing is, Dark doesn't see that it's only 7 or 8 Stalkers. So he was playing cautious there while diving on the bottom when he actually should have been doing the other way around. These guys should have been cautious. The guys on the north should have been diving in. But he did not realize that hero split so many units to the south. Understandable. A couple of Infestors are going to come out. They will, of course, allow Dark to get some more efficiency in this game. Problem right now is if you reset to even workers, even production, and let the game drag on, that seems fine, right? Because you've got more supply. That's army supply. So that army supply doesn't get any better with time. Whereas Hero has 3-2 upgrades. He has better upgrades. So the longer they're mining equal, the better it is for Hero. Hero wants to extend this now. Start doing Zealot run-bys while distracting with Stalkers on the left. Going this deep on creep is what I would normally call a madman's errand. But in this case, it's okay because it's mostly Roach, not that many Zerglings. As I say that, he's going to have to use those Oracles, I think, to cover his retreat. Zealots running on the top right side. That's going to try and punish Dark for collapsing on these Stalkers. Hero may have to do a bit of a recall. And indeed, he's going to try and do that one. He loses 2 or 3 Stalkers. The Zealots are going to run in and focus the third, and then maybe run away and focus the other hatch. Oh, Hero! You mad dog. Infestor could fungal him. Oh, it gets a fungal off, but it does go down. Nice focus fire for Hero. Realizing these Zealots weren't long for this world, he's going to focus a few of these drones down as well as get 2 Zealots out on the right side of this. Good play by Hero to make the most of that situation. He's trying to go double Robo now. He says, look, I need... Immortals can deal with these units. Disruptors would be the god tier choice. So double Robo out front at the third base. It's kind of a risky place to build this. But he's like, I need damage to get through the Roaches, to smash through those Infestors, and to hang on. Still got these 4 bases up. So remember, even though Hero's economy in terms of worker count got smashed, he never lost his bases. He never lost his infrastructure. So it looked like an almost dead Protoss, but he wasn't missing the Nexus, which is usually something that's missing when they're completely dead. Zealot Stalker coming forwards. Dark has a gigantic ball of Roaches. Oh god, a burgeoning chat of roaches, a gigantic thrust, a tumescent ball of savagery, and if he can land some fungals on those stalkers, they won't be able to run. But Oracle's going straight after those infestors. Biles do land. Oh man, that's some big fungals going down there, and some Biles taking out a lot of those stalkers. Immortals are popping out and dying. The Oracle's turning their laser beams on the Ravagers, which are starting to fall. The stalkers desperately trying to hang on. Those upgrades are helping out. The probes are being forced off the line. Oh, this is getting some good value for Dark, and it looks like hero is going to probably fall here. He's taking so many losses. The Stalkers are trying to blink back. The Zealots are trying to warp in. That one high energy Oracle has actually done so much here. It's going to cop a fungal to the face, but it'll take another fungal to actually kill it. And the Immortal coming out does save the day. 17 probes do fall at the end of that. And, get some Infestors would be great. He could even blink one more time. I think he's going to go for it. Is he? He wants that Infestor, that high energy one. Not able to do it. Now, Dark needs to retake this base on the bottom left, I believe, because if you check it out, you can see his bases are now getting oversaturated a little. So even on 57 workers, getting a new hatchery mining is huge, and it will actually be big for hero as well in the near future. Like, I know this base has a lot of minerals because he kept losing workers in this base. So he's going to last a bit longer. Yeah, it's more important for Dark to do that than it is for hero. Starts the hatchery now, as well as Neuroparasite. So he wants to steal some Immortals. Maybe steal some Disruptors as well. Use them against the enemy Stalkers and Immortals would be great. As these Disruptors come out, Roaches. Man, I really feel Roaches like are kind of the king of ZVP. And then the Disruptor comes out and you're like... You suddenly find out the king was a pretender, you know? It's like, oh, you're actually not even a squire. You're the stable boy who was pretending to be the big boy. The Disruptors, just because the way you want to use Roaches is almost always shoving forwards on top with overwhelming numbers and getting right on top of them and just clumping up and smashing them down. Which, of course, the Disruptor completely counters. Oh, he spotted it! Hero spotted it! No, he didn't spot it. Oh, the Infestors sneak by. He was just coming to clear creep. I thought he somehow spotted those 2 Burrow Infestors. Do you guys know how hard it is to see that? So it's kind of similar to spotting observers moving, like just a little blur. It's like, it's just this little trail of dirt. You see, you could like on this graphics, you could barely see a little trail of dirt there. Obviously, the pros might play with settings where it's a little more visible than here on our cinematic settings, but... Oh, good dodge. Baits a fungal, almost gets a Ravager. Good transfuse, though. These guys, spellcaster gods. Here goes the fungal harass, guys. He's got 100... Oh, he doesn't have enough for the double fungal on both, but... Oh, that's still a big juicy 10 probes go down. Oh, he's got the Disruptors, though. Gets a few Roaches, but look at that. The Zealots are on top of the Infestors. If he can finish those Infestors off, that'll be big. Hero needs to get in there. Oh! He stole the Disruptor and used it on Hero's army. If Hero kept the Zealots up there, he would have been good, but he didn't. And that Neuroparasite was massive. It killed a Packer Zealot Stalker. That might be enough to get him out. Oh my god, the Disruptor. He cops one to the face. The Immortal has been Neuroparasited as well, though. That Immortal was doing great friendly fire to the other Disruptors and Immortals there. Absolutely ridiculous. Unfortunately, for Dark, he loses a base, 6 drones, and the Disruptors get out. And now that the reinforcement Zealot Stalker gets there, that is going to be huge. Dark is not going to be able to defend against this next wave. I think Hero's got him. He's still up 1 upgrade. It's 3-2 versus 2-2. Ravager's getting smashed by the Disruptors, and there's just no answer to it. The Infestors need time to get more energy, and there's not enough damage output from these Roaches. The Disruptors overwhelming, and Hero, dude, he lost so many workers earlier in this game. He looked so darn dead. I thought we were going to be going down 0-2, but Hero fights back like a psycho. I just want to go back really quickly. We got to watch that Disruptor shot one more time, guys. That fight. I mean, that was really cool. This is Dark doing Dark things. You know, the army comes forward. This is while that fungal harass is happening. So even though he was getting some good fungal harass, the fight actually starts really well for Hero because Dark was microing the fungals. And this is actually a big problem because he loses an Infestor. Another one has to throw a fungal out there. He already takes a Disruptor. He's getting pushed back. And it's just a bad position to start with because he's already allowed himself to get pushed back up into this choke point. His Infestors are all dying. And that's why this was such a good position for Hero to take. And just a moment of inattention for Dark gives up the advantage position. Now, because there's Revelation on those Infestors, if those Zealots stayed on top of those, he'd kill most of them. I think 1 of them or 2 of them haven't been tagged. But hats off to Dark here for in a desperate situation, stealing that Disruptor. And he gets a Packer Zealot Stalker. I actually think, though, slight adjustment, guys. If he actually moved that Disruptor shot to the right, he could have hit more units. He adjusted it at the last second to the left. And I think if he kept it slightly to the right, he could have gotten an even bigger one. So check this out. He's going to come forward. He's going to steal that Disruptor. And I think if he leaves it right there, it would have been bigger. Yeah, because he could have got the Immortal and a bunch more Stalkers out. It was still a great shot, but definitely Dark doing awesome Dark things. But once your opponent's got 3-2 Immortal Disruptor, Zealot Stalker, and you're on similar army supply with Roach Infestor, it's a desperate spot to be in. Hats off to hero for fighting back and tying up the series. All right, guys, into game 3. Hero going across altitude, the biggest map in the pool. And Dark's in the bottom left. Dark, for some reason, has drone to 17. And as a result, his hatchery gets blocked. Oh, Dark, what are you doing? If he just went for the standard 16 hatch, he would have got it down on time. Hero doesn't measure the distances when he's new on map pools, guys. So he often sends the worker across at the wrong time. He's really inconsistent with that. But Dark built an extra drone for no reason. So his hatchery was going down late. And as a result, he has to go take that third, which is miles away, man. Look at the distance to that third on this map. So let's talk about altitude a little bit as Hero just does his standard harassment. We can stare at that. Obviously, he's gone Gate into Gas Geyser, and he's actually pulled one off Minerals onto Gas. He's going to play Stargate. That's what that tells us. Nexus Core. So this map is gigantic, guys. It is massive. His probe went to the edge to spot the third, and there is big distance between the bases. Now, the advantage of a big map normally favors Protoss in surviving frontal pushes because it takes them longer to get across the map. That's really good for Protoss in general. But there's a problem, which is Protoss like compact base design. They like bases as close together as possible, and on this map, they get super spread out. So it's really hard for Protoss to defend those bases from Terran and Zerg that often have points in the game where they're kind of swarming over the Protoss in, like, say, the early mid-game, right? Whether it be mass roaches and lings and banes coming in from every side. And it's hard for Protoss to, like, wall off and defend on this map. It's hard for them to control those bases. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of Protoss trying to be the aggressive one themselves, doing lots of, like, Zealot run-bys and backstabs and all this sort of stuff. So I really want to see how that goes for Hero and how he puts the pressure onto Dark. And does he feel forced to just go all in with Blink Stalkers? Open 2 Oracles and then just do, 2 or 3 Oracles into non-stop Blink off 3 base? He might feel like he has to go for some sort of all-in to avoid dealing with being on the defense on such a giant map. Now, that's one way of putting it. However, Dark has shown a bit of a preponderance on these new maps to go Mass Roach, even when the Protoss is on Stalkers. And the thing is, Stalkers are the more maneuverable unit there. Roaches don't have that much mobility. They do have the numbers, but if he's not going heavy on the Zerglings and the Zergling upgrades, he can't super easily take advantage of any of that. Zergling comes in. Did it see the Stargate? Oh, a second Zergling came in. He ran in with 2 Lings. They both die. And the Stalker's now out as well. It's going to go after this Overlord. It's going to try and get back to that pillar, but of course the Oracle will just fly over, spot that, and take it down. Unless the Lings can get here before the Oracle gets here, but that's highly unlikely. Overlord's going to ponder its last few minutes of existence, enjoy a little bit of a red light shining up its butt, getting a nice little prostate exam, I guess, from this tower. Anyways, third base is going to go down over here. Oracle will come up. Oh, Lings are here. Oracle might have to turn its laser on. And indeed it will. That's good for Dark. He knew you're going to turn the laser on. Backs off immediately. And, oh, he goes back in. Oh, he's going to get the Stalker. Oh, the Oracle turns its laser on, but Dark happy to trade a bunch of Zerglings to kill that Stalker. Very valuable unit for the Protoss to lose there. And because it's not just the Stalker, it's also the Oracle can't harass him now for the next little while. So he doesn't have any spores. He's just started a very late spore crawler. So the thing is, if you build extra Lings, you have less drones, but you don't need those spores as fast because you can force that Oracle to stay on the defense. Lings are coming forward, and Hero's actually going to commit in there. The Queens are going to punish that along with these extra couple of Lings coming out. Oh, Dark over micros a little bit. And looks like one Adept will get out of there. Nicely done by Hero. Oracle's going to come in that left side. That Natural's looking wide open, but he's so low on workers, there's no drones there. He's building 14 more Lings. Dark is really being inefficient now, actually. I think he desperately needs more workers. And these Oracles seeing no Lings here. I mean, this looks like a Queen Ling Nidus all in. The problem is the Oracle's seeing no worker line, seeing Lings. It's not going to work. The Queen Ling Nidus only works if it's a surprise. So Hero should now be watching for that Nidus. He should be super focused on the defense. And if Dark still pops a Nidus down here, he's a madman. Dark's actually insane. Okay, so he built one more round of workers, still puts the Nidus down. He's still just going to go Queen Ling Nidus. This is blatantly obvious, but Hero, we saw in game 1, he forced Dark into Mass Roach Hydra. He saw the Mass Roach Hydra. He still didn't get his splash damage up in time. He didn't go the disruptors that were needed. And he's going lots of gateways, no forge, which seems like it's a sign of him playing safe. But he still hasn't checked over here for the Nidus Worms. And that, to me, shows that he's not sure what's happening. I think he's probably thinking the same thing that I thought initially, which, oh, you've been scouted, you wouldn't commit to that anymore. Dark's a crazy dude, though. Of course he'll commit to it. He has no shame. He has no shame. He's going to pop the Nidus in the main hero. Oh, you saw no drones on that natural. It had been a messy early game, so he misjudges it. And this is a huge mistake for hero in this game. There's not that many lings. 34 lings building right now, though. 18 on the map. Queens are going to pop out. Definitely should put a tumor down. He's going to do it. Another Nidus Worm as well. 2 gateways are going to get depowered, and that's probably going to be game there. Hero. Oh, man. Misreading what's going on in this game. The 7 queens, more than a match for the 4 oracles. The constant oracle production actually really bad here. The probes are getting slaughtered right now. Oracles do have a stasis. Get set off by just 2 guys. The lings get in through the natural wall at the same time. It's absolute savagery here. No chill. He's trying to wait for battery overcharge so his oracles can fight the queens, but he's going to have lost everything by the time that happens. And hero caught with his pants down, being greedy. And this is something that we know about hero's style. There's a reason he looks unfair when he wins. It's because he cuts corners like crazy and he takes things for granted. He does not dot his I's and cross his T's, and Dark is taking advantage of that. That was a rough one. I thought that was a good start for him. Even though he lost the Stalker, I think he did more than enough damage on the counter and was playing really well, but just caught with his pants down. Hero in the top left side of the map, relying a bit too much on the mass Oracle for safety. You can see that just building Oracles nonstop is almost a little bit of a crutch for Hero, where he starts to think he's immune to everything else. Now, he's gone 13 Pylon, and the idea of 13 Pylon is it allows you, with your Pylon probe, to get across the map fast enough to block a 16 hatchery. If you built that pylon on 14, so you queue up one more probe before putting it down, this guy gets here like 6-7 seconds later, and the hatchery's already started. So this is a great adjustment on a long map like Dragon Scales to make sure you get over there. Drone's going to come on over here as well, go for that base. Got the gas coming up, the gateway there as well. Probe moving into the natural. And once again, Dark's tricked him and got the hatchery down. I mean, you got to stop falling for this move, I would say. On the other hand, this is not as quick as the other one. That started at like 59 seconds. That's still a very awkward hatchery timing. And I would say to be efficient with this, Dark should actually make a 19 Overlord so he can start queen production immediately in the main to make up for the fact that hatchery is so late. Or he should send a drone out and take a quicker 3rd base. We'll see if he does either of those. So he's on 19 supply now. So either he builds an Overlord now, or he keeps droning but goes and takes a 3rd. Or he's Dark and he just follows his normal build as usual, even though his hatchery's 10 seconds late. Which is, that'd be the more classic Dark thing to do. Let's be real. Yeah, he's not sending a drone out to take a 3rd and he's not building an Overlord. Okay. It's going to be very long before those queens start, guys. This hatchery being 10 seconds late, it delays your first 2 injects 10 seconds. These are like the little details that Dark slips up on that really hurt his early game and just put him behind from where he should be. Notice he's starting 2 things, but he's supply blocked because this hatchery is what you rely on to unsupply block yourself. Finally, the 2 queens starting up. Ling speed's on the way. And only 2 Zerglings this game, which means if Hero wants to, he could block the 3rd. Because he's not chronoing pro adepts, he's not going to choose to do that. Warp Gate does start up here. It's been very, no ground-based base play, which makes sense. Pretty big maps, right? And I do feel like it's interesting, though, that altitude was there, actually. I wonder what maps do they veto, then? Wow. Okay, I'm still trying to figure it out, but it looks... I wonder who got rid of Neo-Humanity. That's probably the biggest one I'm wondering. Though, who knows? We don't know what the next map could be if we get there. If Dark wins, this series is over with a 3-1 scoreline, but Hero will need to win this map and the next in order to win this series. 3rd hatchery's down. Dark's just focusing on catching up on those drones. He hits a supply block on 36. It's not the biggest supply block, but it is meaningful, especially when talking about his earlier delay on his hatcheries and how much that's already slowed him down. So definitely a suboptimal opening for Dark. You can see it represented in the worker advantage that Hero's got this game. Hero going for the 2nd gateway in the wall off. Didn't chrono boost his Oracle. That usually would be considered a mistake. He's going to chrono the 2nd Oracle. Interesting. I guess it speeds up the 2nd Oracle still First Oracle won't be out that early, though. A little bit lower impact. Adept and Probe at the third. If those Zerglings could snag that Probe, that'd be a great pickup. Hero, though, hitting 400 minerals, puts that down immediately. And we'll be building a pylon in a moment as well. Interesting that he doesn't go for the other. I feel like the other third's easier to defend than this one. Nice, he's going to get that Probe, but Oracle comes in and gets 1, 2, just 2 workers. Maybe get a lava as well, but he did turn his laser beam off. Fair enough. Looks like this Oracle... Oh, did he just lose the Adept? He loses the Adept as well. Dark doing a really good job with this Zergling harass. Getting some mistakes out of Hero. Hero goes double gas. We'll see Twilight Forge as the next things coming in, but he's building a third Oracle for now. No choke points here. Really proper ones created for those Adepts. They're going to shade forwards across the map. Dark hitting another supply block on 58. The man of the people that he is, making us feel a little bit better about our supply-ridden play that we do back at home. Twilight and a third gateway. No Forge yet again. So this is interesting. It feels like Hero wants to get that tech up a bit earlier. To me, that says Blinkstalker aggression. 4 gates and a Twilight. Could just be to defend potential aggression out of Dark as well. Gets 1 queen. Can he get a second one? He will. 2 queens and a drone. Not too bad for an Oracle. Not bad at all. Oh, that guy's going to stay in there? No, does end up pulling it out. But he sees the lair hasn't started. As soon as he backs off, the lair does start. So that scout of the lair tells him, oh, okay, you can't Nidus me. You can't do anything like that. No worries. I'm making Oracles. I'm making Blink. I'm making 4 gates. He's also chronoing probes out of 2 of his Nexi. Notice he prioritizes chrono boosting the Nexi at the front. So those probes don't have to run as far before they start mining. Nice quick 4th hatchery on the way for Dark. Nothing like that crazy 4-minute hatchery in the earlier game. But still going down at 5 minutes, or even just before then. 4 minutes 45 is very good. No Evo chamber yet. Oh, there we go. It's coming up. 4 gas, 6 gas. I mean, this looks like he's just going to play Roaches again. Dark is a fan of the Roach. I think he's just like, look, Zerglings die way too easily to Oracles. Hero masses Oracles every game. I'm not playing that game. I'm just going to play Roaches. Maybe mix a few Lings in, but they're never going to be the core of the army. Oh, the Queens pull away at the worst time. Uh-oh. That main's looking a little open. Ooh. Oh, he lures the Queen into the open. That was his plan. He says, see ya. Don't want to be ya. But he's going to lose an Oracle for it. Is it worth it? It's 1, 2 drones and a Queen yet again for an Oracle. I mean, the trading is objectively very positive for him, right? I guess an Oracle's 300 resources, a Queen's 150. So the drones are the only positive each time that happens, actually. I'm like, nah, it's not that positive, is it? An Oracle is a very expensive unit. Here come the Blinkstalkers, though. Gonna start chipping away at that creep. Pushing down the guts right up in between the bases. That's interesting. We're gonna keep tagging the creep or using these Oracles maybe for other purposes. Oh, he's just gonna dive. Oh, he's just gonna dive right on in here. He's gonna click on that hatchery. That's gonna force Dark to engage. If Dark doesn't engage, it's not gonna work out. Oh, you gotta move those Lings, bro. Oh, one of the Queens and a few Lings get trapped. Transfuses not gonna be able to save that hatchery. Great snipe there by Hero. Just realizing, hey, he's not just being careful. He's just not there with any defense right now. And gets in and does some great damage. These Adepts even grabbing a whole bunch more drones behind it. 5 drones, 6 drones. Fantastic usage of these Adepts that wouldn't have had that much purpose the longer this game went. Up to 8 gateways now. It's got 3 bases going. 4th base going down. And of course the Forge will start behind this as well. You are behind on the tech, right? +1's on the way. Roach Beat. Nidus Worm on the way for Dark. Oh, Dark's like, oh, you killed my 4th? Okay, I'm going to Nidus you. Just going for the immediate counterattack. He knows the hero is going to keep trying to contain him, push back creeps, slow him down, all that sort of stuff. And just going for the Nidus, it's such a high impact move that can potentially kill your opponent and surprise them if you can pop that Nidus up inside that main base. But right now, Dark is lacking spotting units. As they skirmish down here, you know, Hero's getting pickoffs. He's getting really nice trades. And all he's got is a Zerg. I mean, he can pop a Nidus at the front, but that's nowhere near as good as being able to pop out in the main base, on the production, on the economy. And because he's so far pinned back, he's like, dude, I can't even use it. I've got to be able to just survive first and foremost. I can't even think about counterattacking. The Nidus is only going to be, if I get a good enough fight, it'll give me the counterattack potential. But I'd love to see him set up an Overseer at the same time. So the moment he starts winning the fight, he can pop a Nidus and turn his defense into offense because Dark's tech is dead in the water. He's got +2 range on the way, but it's just Roaches and Ravagers. Oh, he gets 2 Ravagers and blinks back. Hero, you savage. Second Forge is on the way for him as well. hero wants to play Mass Gateway this game. He's on 76, 77 probes. He's in a real nice spot. Dark, he's trying to get 2 more gases. Does he go Infestors again? I always feel like Infestors is such a desperate play, but you can't deny that Fungal in the middle of those Stalkers does ruin them. I just don't think you should stay on Roach Infestor all game because they are very countered by Disruptors. We saw that earlier, and that's something you got to remember as Dark. If you can just get out 4 Infestors, just use them sparingly every now and then whenever hero overcommits with a big Fungal, while taking up behind it can be very effective. You can see Dark, he goes for that Pathogen Gland so late in the game. I think it's going to kick in a bit too late. Zealots on the left side coming on in. Oh, damn. Dark is getting overrun right now. Ravagers aren't that great at dealing with Zealots either. A few Lings and Ravagers could get turned on by those units. I actually feel like if he's not looking and the Zealots just get on top of those Ravagers, they'll tear him down real quick. We've got the big Stalker Oracle squad on the right side. Having to use a lot of Revelations just to clear creep. We're just going to back off for now as he takes a 5th base. He's on 9 gateways. Going to go up to 11 gateways. I like gateways just sitting out front these next side. Obstruction. So if the Zerg swarms in there, he's going to struggle with it. Zealots are going to run in. They've got +1 now against the +1 range of Dark. The Zealot's going to fight. The Stalker's diving on the right side. hero just looking for trades. He says, I killed your 4th. I think I'm ahead in raw numbers. Ravagers are not that supply efficient. They're good at buying time, but if I just blink on your face, there's no way to buy time. The Zealots have been cleaned up on the left flank, and those units will come back over to the right, but there's Stasis Traps going up. Dark sends a drone to take that one for the team. More Zealots coming in, though. Dark just does not have the numbers to hold on here. Fungal's coming in, but there's nothing to capitalize on it. And that is a beautiful way of playing. It's fantastic play by hero. Just keeping on top of him. Going for the Blink Stalker aggression. Using that to expand off the back foot. And then just committing with such decisiveness. Alright guys, going into game number 5 to decide the whole thing. And hero gets here right on 48 seconds. Cutting it a little bit close. But Dark just going to go take that 3rd base. He's been playing the trick on him. And still getting this hatchery down most of these games. But we'll see how it goes. We've got the gas going up. The gateway's there as well. Probe's going to come in for the scout. Happy to see that the 3rd went down on location this time and he wasn't tricked. Going to get in there and start occupying those mineral patches. This probe shouting occupy Wall Street. In this case, it's wall minerals? I don't even know. Probe is just going to be nice and annoying there. And I wonder if there's any big change-ups. Ancient Cistern is not the smallest map. It's got a lot of choke points and a lot of rocks. So until these rocks get opened on this map, it is rather closed off. Once these 2 pairs of rocks go down, the map opens up a lot more. But until that happens, it does feel like a rather long distance across, some fair choke points, some very good force field, disruptor areas, that sort of stuff. And I really wonder what hero brings to the table because Dark is playing very... Other than the Nidus Queen Ling, he's played very receptive in terms of like the opening. It's just like, I'm just making roaches and doing a very standard opening. He did do the mass tunneling claw roach, right, as well. But like the first 6-7 minutes, it seems like is pretty set in stone in terms of like, so far 3 out of 4 games have just been, I make roach. I make +1, I make roach speed. Off of about 70, maybe 75 drones at most. And it's hero who's trying to get some momentum going, get under Dark's skin and throw him off. Is Dark going to be able to keep on surprising him with those backstabs? Now, this map does have some pretty good dead space around the edges. Big Mutalisk swaps, something we haven't seen yet. Something Dark's very capable of doing. I think a lot of players are afraid against hero to go Mutalisks, because whenever they're in the habit of doing it, he just does much more crisp, aggressive Blinkstalker timings. And he often kills you as your mutas are first popping. So he's very good at having the instincts of knowing when to hit a Mutalisk player before those mutas can get across the map and get in his mineral line. The main base on this map is huge, by the way. So you've got massive room to abuse with like Blink Stalkers, Nidus Worms. Obviously, Blink Stalkers is more of a PvT thing, but Nidus Worms could get in there. Oh, Adept's going to go for 1 drone, and he cancels. Only 2 Lings on him. Where was the Queen? She finally gets over there. Oh, does he trap it? No, he doesn't. And hero's going to get out of there, man. That was beautiful. 2 drones and a Ling for free, essentially. The first Oracle will fly over here, spot the high ground, and allow that Stalker to kill it. The Pervert Overlord, the Pervert Pillar, no longer a safe area. So that chunks of Zerg meat fall literally through the roof. Nice physics game. Second gateway on the way in the wall off. We've got a third base up here. I do like this third base because it's got a very narrow choke point leading into it. Allows you to kind of hang in this central area and defend both bases at once. Behind it, Spore Crawlers are on the way. One in the main, one in the third. And already up to 5 queens. But hero hitting that worker production very nicely. Having killed 2 drones early is a very good start. And that can be slippery from there. If anyone can fight back from there, it's Dark. But I know a lot of players who lose 2 drones, then they lose 4 drones to the next wave, then even more. Oh, he's going to commit. You got to run those drones away, Dark. You can't just sit there and take it. Dark taking a beating right now. He's going to let 4 drones go down. I think he should have pulled those drones out of range. I mean, those adepts were committed. They weren't going to get out. But he stays there mining. Takes a big hit to the face. Now that drone gets spotted trying to head towards that 4th base. And seeing these multiple oracles, he's very keen on getting that 4th hatchery up his Dark. He needs it. Oracles are going to grab a bunch more workers, and this is a slippery slope. This is just good aggression for hero, and Dark being a little sloppy. There we go. Dark finally finding some value on the counter, but the Oracle comes in at the perfect time. Oh, he tried to over-micro it there, actually, and missed some attacks. Both Stalkers do go down. Still a very good trade for Dark. Dark holding that drone key down frantically, injecting, droning. He needs to start the 4th base. He needs to do it right now. There we go. So he's going to go Evo Chamber 4th base. And I think he's going to play very heavy on the Zerglings to try to deal with any Stalker aggression that comes. Probably focus on Ling backstabs more than anything else. Seeing those Stalkers that he caught at the 3rd, he's probably convinced it is going to be Blink play. Even though hero sometimes does a tricky one. Warps in up to 5 Stalkers and then plays Charge. But not this time. Oracle goes back in for even more. Oh, man. Okay, this is devastating. 16 workers going down. Dark needs to get his stuff together, and he needs to get it together right now. And I've got to once again say, this is, for me, the problem with this 3rd base, where this 3rd base is so much easier to defend than this one, because of the way they can come in and then veer from this triangle. If you get oracles there, you can change direction of this base, change direction to this base, or change direction to that base. Try and defend that with queens. It's very difficult to be in the correct position at the right time. You can still do it. Dark has absolutely made mistakes, but I think he makes it harder for himself than it needs to be by taking that base. And I really think you're giving hero way more damage than he's actually earned for himself. Has he fought well? Yes. But Dark has to really play rock-solid StarCraft now. He's going to mass lings off 64, soon to be 70 drones. He needs a macro hatch as well. Yeah, he's going to go macro hatch. He's going to make a roach horn so he can prepare for the inevitable swap into charge zealots. If he could deny the 4th base with these lings and defend the Stalkers would be great. Having lost so many workers, though, I think even just defending the Stalker aggression will be difficult. Second Forge does go down there. It's going to be single Evo versus double Forge. 4th base on the way for Protoss. Tastalope, of course. Tasteless's favorite creature, because it has a big head and beautiful little antlers there as well. Oracle's chasing off the lings on the north side. Still building more drones as Dark. He's got to be careful with that. He's got good creep spread. It's a rather large map. He's going to have time to recover a little bit. But those Stalkers are starting to march forward. And he definitely wants to keep these lings ready on the backstab angle. Doesn't want to have them just bleeding in here a few units at a time. Looks like the Queen's almost got an Oracle there. He's going to keep spreading his creep in pretty much every angle. Breaking the rocks down, also very good move for Zerg players here. But as the 2-1 upgrades in the charge comes in, we are looking at an overwhelming number of Protoss units on this field. Roach production starts up along with Roach speed here for Dark. Just making a couple of Ravages for now would be good. The Lings are holding back. He hasn't really revealed the sheer number of the Zerglings, but also hero hasn't seen a single Roach, and now he definitely knows there's mass Zerglings. Wasn't paying attention and shades on in. Those adepts go down. Easy cleanup. Double Robo starts up. Hero realizing double Robo is going to be the way. Banelings, of course, on the way for Dark. Dark's up in supply, and that looks really good, but that's because there's so much tech on the way for hero. Thing is, it's not tech that's going to be hitting at the fastest timing. It feels to me like hero is kind of realizing, man, I've already gone double upgrades. I've already overprobed a bit. I don't really have an aggressive window to do too much. He's going to have to turn on at least one Oracle. Is hero here. He turns on all 3. A few Stalkers go down, but good engage and pull back there. Another 2 Stalkers do fall, bringing it up to 4 Stalkers in total that have died. Now, does hero take the top left base? I think that's not a bad idea. Take that base. He's got double Immortal production as well as Templar Archives and going to 9 gateways. 2-1 upgrades are going to finish as +2 melees on the way. Baneling speed also. It's going to be a massive Ravager Bane for Dark. Does he have a transition from there, though? Because Ravager Bane falls off at a certain point in the game. And if you're letting the Protoss get to 80 probes and max out and you're still on Ravager Bane, you better have some very special tactics to deal with that. The Zerg who's just sitting on 80 drones, maxing on Ravager Bane, but not trading with the Protoss, that's a Zerg that's running out of time. That's a Zerg that is just waiting to die, and you cannot just wait to die. You got to get out there and actually trade, and that's what Dark's going to do. Unfortunately, his Baneling speed's very late, and there's a lot of cannons on that base. The Oracle's going to go for some run-bys, not going to be used defensively, which I find kind of wild. Oh, he wanted to check for the Hive. He sees no Hive. Seeing no Hive, I think the Oracles are reasonably happy to just kind of go home and help defend. A Prism is on the way. Archon Immortal Stalker is going to be the play here. 33 Banelings and +2 melee. That's the timing. Dark has chosen his timing, guys. +2 melee, Baneling speed. He hasn't made any Ravages. I'd like to see him make some Ravages here. There's no sentries. I understand that, but still would be very useful. He's hiding his Banelings right now. He's going to make a few Banes over there. He's got... Oh, that's too many. Guys, if you go for like a 30 or 40 Baneling run by... That's a crazy move. He's going to try and smash Banelings into the natural in the third while distracting on the north. I don't know if that's going to work out. Roachling, Bane coming in. Bane speed and +2 melee. Bane speed kicks in. +2 melee ain't there just yet. The Banelings do force a spready, but they don't really kill that much. Great spreadies from hero that can Dark take out the Econ. Mass Banelings! He's going to dive into the natural in the main. Splits a few Banes off into the third. The Cannon and the Immortal will stop that one, though. Very nice defense up there. Big engage on the top, but it looks like he's the one getting surrounded. Dark, maybe not watching for a moment there. Banes are rolling into all the mineral lines. Hero's economy is toast. The question is, can Dark actually deal with his army after spending his entire Baneling amount to deal with this? Biles, Queens, Roaches, Banes trying to defend. Dark needs to fall back. He's cleared the economy out. 48 probes. The main natural and third are bare of workers right now. Hero's economy is down in the dumpster, but he is pushing in with one big desperate push, and Dark spent an immense amount of resources to clear those workers out. Dark did so many worker damage, but he needs to pull the drones, he needs to fight. And Archon and Zealots, though, eviscerate drones. They don't care about him. The Roach Ravager count needs to grow, but 3 Immortals are the counter to the Roach Ravager. A new Warp Prism is being built. The fact that he lost his Prism is huge. I think that's why Dark dived in the first fight, was to bile the Warp Prism down. But here we go. Zealot, Stalker, Immortal, Archon looking for the fight. The drones, the Roaches coming in from every side. Dark goes for the engage. That Archon, watch its kill count in the bottom right side. It's going to be massive. Bane's not able to get in because the Stalkers blink up to block them. These Immortals, one of them does fall. That Archon is just getting so many worker kills. The Stalkers are trying to get out of there. This is a costly trade. Finally, the Immortal goes down, as does the Archon and the Zealots, but it cost Dark 37 drones. And you know what? It should be game over, right? But you're only up 15 workers. Protoss is up. He's got 4 different upgrades. You've only got 2. He's got better quality units, and he's still on 4 bases. If he chooses to reprobe, Hero maybe could recover his economy, just like in that second game. Yeah, again, Dark ruins Hero's economy, but can he actually defend this? It looks like Hero's deciding to go all in rather than rebuilding the economy, and Dark bringing Roach's drones in from every side. He's even going to root a Spore Crawler to limit the movement of the Prism. Dude, Dark coming in from every which way. I think Hero might have been able to defend his way back into this game, but I don't think he can break through. Actually, he kills the Ravager. No way. This Archon is a menace, but the Spores are stopping it from getting picked up. If that Archon could get saved by the Prism, it would have been big. It goes down. Meanwhile, Zealot's warping on the top side. There is a Roach there. Roach is pulling back in the natural. Oh my god. No. You're kidding me. How did he do that? Dark throws in the towel because his Roaches are popping out and dying. Hero, what? How did he do that? Oh man. Okay, I mean, was there any way for Dark to hang in there? I don't think so, guys. Because you got to look at this. He's lost all of his mining. So the problem here is he's lost his mining here. He's got like 4 drones mining there. He's got 6 drones mining minerals there. This base is gone. And the moment these drones stop mining, it's like, what's he got? He's got 6 Roaches in production, but they're like dying as they pop out. I did not think that was going to work. I thought Dark had it. What a crazy game. But we have to remember, and I'm sure there's people who are getting angry saying, oh, you killed their whole economy, they still just win. Keep in mind, he threw 50 Banelings. I said the moment he split those Banes off, I was like, that's too many Banes. You can't afford to split off. That's 24 Banelings plus 7 Banelings. That's 31 Banelings. Oh wait, plus 2. 33. 33 Banelings he splits off. That's a crazy amount of units and cost to split away from your army. And he also fought on the top side a little bit before Baneling speed and stuff finished. I mean, this is wild. I love the swinging for the fences approach of I'm just going to send 35 Banes at your economy and wipe it all out. I love that hero is so busy watching the fight on the front. He does zero spreading on his probes or defense of any sort and then still wins the game. GG, well played. These guys are playing such fun series. This is, of course, all in the new balance patch. I can't wait to see what they both can bring at Katowice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.